Hello, welcome back. It's been a while for me, about a couple of days since last time we recorded. Yeah. Of course. I don't know what just happened there. Suddenly everything kind of stopped. Let me check the recording real quick. Yeah, the recording looks fine. I'm just hoping that the audio is actually picking up from the game, though, because it didn't show any game audio, but then again, I wasn't hearing any game audio either. But yeah, I'm recording this after the 6.4, so some things are a bit different. I don't know what's different, but there's a few things that are different. Because I haven't done enough to realize what's different. I've done a lot, though. But anyway, today we're going to continue the main story after, I don't know, 14 episodes, maybe more, of me doing side quests. But yeah, let's get on with it. Oh, also, I am starting to go and do the timer again, the 30-minute timer. I wasn't doing it with the other quests because they're side quests that I want to enjoy, so I don't want to be, you know, in the middle of something and suddenly you hear my alarm going off. Fortuitous timing, as always, Edgar. Totaro was about to brief me on the search of our missing comrades. If you will be so kind, then. Absolutely, you'll be pleased to hear that Royal and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Levelin helped me to escape the Crystal Braves and the Miss Lamosa, only to then disappear? Well, accordingly to Royal, she crept aboard a ship aboard for Ratatan, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Yada and Poplamo, the remains of the link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places, Royal thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. All but certain that they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. What of Thancred and Menphilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is we've established the services of a Charlian scholar, one of the students of Baldesia, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Edgar, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Night for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know. Yep, down to the foundation. Yeah, I've been playing the new update. I've gotten done with the story bit, I've gotten done with the raid bit. All that I'm really missing is the side quest bit, which I should be done in a few days with that. Oh, Oh, no, my boy. What are you doing out here? Good and triumphs over evil and fairy tales, and there are conversely reticent about what follows. Yada yada yada. Pandora, I can see you.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited. Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
To be fair, you're lucky that not the majority didn't deny the truth. I mean, not the majority
if they
that
suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
That like 90% of them didn't turn. I was gonna say, oh, this probably is the majority already, but at least it's not 90% of them.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the broom.
That just seems normal at this point to me.
Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
Here's a gun.
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir, then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
So I like Edgar has a choice.
Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled. the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens.
So the dragon just falls out of the sky in the middle of the town.
Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph.
And not scarred.
As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
The journey at least should pose little difficulty this time. I know little of the lands these dragon called home, this annexed shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would have been far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it. Yet, even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? But here we set forth. Edgar and I must inform our comrade of our plans. Well, I shall see to my preparations. And let us go and bid farewell to Jotaro, Edgar. Oh yeah, we're right next to the, what was it, the Forgotten Knight? I thought you want to tell it, or would you rather I did all the talking? So, what was the secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. A diplomatic mission at Annex Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Ferdinand happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with your Stola and Adasha. She'll be there to receive our guests. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but the scholar just happened to be. Time permitting, as I said, we will endeavor to join your Stola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Edgar. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. One task at a time, Edgar. Besides, I have no doubt that your Stola can look after the scholar by herself. You're ready then? Good, so am I. Do I want the hot chocolate? I personally would, but, Edgar probably wouldn't. Edgar don't want whatever the fuck that is. A vanilla flavored egg custard drenched in a sweet syrup that is then Heated with the fire crystal until a crisp brown shell is created. Amber cream croissant. Flaky croissant shaped. Pastry sliced in two and buttered with a sweet creamy paste made from almonds. Urchin loaf. Sea urchin, mushrooms and herbs, paste that makes the back of the urchin's shell. Baked until hard. Croissant. The path is long, but no to us from Falcon's Nest. We shall cross the Western Highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Trevonian Forelands. There we can stop, rest, replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. No, I'm gonna scratch me nose. Yeah, itchy, itchy, itchy nose. You might notice if I'm being a bit distracted or you hear something weird coming from my end of the mic. That is because, I got the Pandora laying right next to the mic. She's leaning up against it, and occasionally she's trying to get her lips on a piece of it, which I'm constantly trying to get her away from. Okay. What are you about to say? Strange, this was only my third visit to Tailfeather, yet the first feels as though it was a lifetime ago. I always imagined the first time I was upon Trevonian soldier would be at the head of an army, and here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. For well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past, though it was I who first proposed recruiting Yasoli to our cause. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Once here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hand, men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds, agreed to help us in common cause. At her side she fought in service of the greater good, even unto her dying breath, and while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much of myself, no, yet who can say what might come to pass? Sure, negotiations bear fruit. Yes, yes, of course. We must pass on one next shrine, if you will follow me. We just gonna fly there. Oh. Another thing, and it was here. But then again, I probably collected it before my main one. Yeah. Also, if I kind of sound like a bit far away at times, that's because I'm moving, so I could see the screen, because my mic is covering up my left eye right now. And every time I clean the screen, it just gets dirty again. Almost immediately. Does it have anything to do with a certain kitty? She's just looking at me with her tail going. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of your seal. But this one I do not know. Pray and forgive us this unannounced visit of Vifnir. I present you as the first commander of the Temple Knights of Esgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Venofnir. I come here as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war. But now we know the truth, that King Thoradin and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Radidoske, shattering the peace between our people. 1,000 years our leader contrived to conceal this truth, a truth which has led bare by the warrior of light, the Azure Dragoon, and your soul. Alas, a deception so wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysold once did, and we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you to join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerns my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I will not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace. We want for patience. Ah, fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon, my humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. My eyes are starting to hurt now. I'm gonna have to move that. That might sound a bit weird, but at least me eyes aren't hurting. Given the circumstances, I should say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whatever we came of it remains to be seen, however. Yep, I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. Oh, but you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fear for me now. Oh, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charlian. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. And I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was. And thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alfner. I only hope that fates hold you to your word. And I'll be ending the episode there. And between episodes, I'm going to try to adjust my mic so it's not covering one of my eyes. So until then.